first time I've been here, you know.
Yeah?
Wallahi, first time I've been here.
Wallahi.
Yeah.
So we got this thing called Somali Corner.
Oh, yeah?
We do it almost every Sunday. And it's just about Somali. We just talk about Somali issues.
Okay.
Because in this park, is it ready, bro? Yeah. Is it recording? Yeah. Yeah. I'm ready. So basically,
Content over everything.
see, Somali Corner is like started when people were talking about everything. For example, when you come to the park, people talk about every situation. We've got black people talking about black issues. You got Asian people talking about Asian issues. You got Arabs. You got politics, religious. Everyone talking about everything. But no one just talks about Somali people.
That's true.
And that is why, you know, I decided to, you know, start this Somali Corner thing with other friends. You get me? So
That's
Sundays,
needed.
exactly. So I just put myself in the spot saying, you know what, guys, come, let's discuss the issues. What's going on? What's happening in the community? You get me? Why are young people so not, you know what I mean, connected to their culture?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of controversial topics that can be discussed, man.
Exactly. For example, like parenting, gang crimes, history, origin, what are Somali people, who are you, where are you from, like why do you look so different, you get me? So yeah, so that's the main thing. So I could bring on even some sisters as well, you get me? Huh?
Yeah, well, that's needed, yeah?
Yeah,
Well, that's needed.
yeah. So today we just want to talk about hijab, you get me?
Hijab, yeah? Okay, no worries. Do you want me to
Okay,
contribute?
so the subject today is going to be a bit controversial, as we said. Why is everybody behind the camera like, please, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys can give out your opinion behind the camera if you want, like whatever you want to say. Yeah, the microphone is really good, so you can stand right here, but the camera's not going to be there. Yeah, so you can be heard. Yeah, you can also stand on the side. Yeah, give your opinions and let's see what it's okay. How can blame America? It was about the hijab, isn't it? Yeah.
Like, does a girl not wearing a hijab, does that make her less of a Muslim, or does that make her, quote unquote, seem like a bad girl? Me fancy.
Yeah.
And where did this notion come from? Where did these opinions come from? Of people maybe making certain stereotypes about a girl if she's not wearing a hijab, or she's wearing jeans but with a scarf. So where did this come from? I'm me find it. And what do people think? What are people's opinions on what they think about the hijab?
Okay.
And should it be a must in our culture? Should we be forcing our girls to be wearing scarf?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. What's your opinion, bro?
Religion-wise, we should.
Okay.
The girl should wear it. But if she doesn't, that doesn't make her less of a Muslim.
Yeah, it doesn't make her less of a Muslim, but do you feel that putting that pressure on the girl, like growing up, do you feel like that might make her also rebel against the deen and her identity as half Muslim? As someone Muslim, like.
It shouldn't, but I've seen it, yeah. I
Yeah,
see what you're
and
saying.
it's happening as well. It's happening like, it's literally becoming so much now. Do you know what I mean? To the point where people are literally disconnecting themselves away from like our culture even. Like, do you know what I mean? Even though it's got nothing to do with our culture or our deen, you shouldn't even be pressuring people to be doing certain things. But because people are, the older generation are so afraid of what everyone else thinks, they're afraid of also maybe their daughter not dressing in a certain way that's going to make her look good.
Because at the end of the day, Somali parents talk to each other. Like they got this connection that we don't have.
Exactly.
And they'll be like, give what they like Mandir said earlier.
It's all about competition. You know what I mean? And
Give what they sound like, what happens to
Yeah.
Can you guys relate to that?
Absolutely, absolutely, wallahi. And you know what, personally, I don't think it should be the case where, like, I think children should be brought up with the deen instilled into them so that they should have that spirituality. Do you know what I mean? I've got 3 little daughters myself, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I do. And the thing is with me, I'm like, sometimes I always contemplate about, do I want them to wear the hijab? Do I not want them to wear the hijab? Like, what should I do, you know? But because she sees me praying my salah and she sees me devoted to my religion, at the same time, I'm amongst the community and I'm doing whatever I want. And I'm a very happy person, I'm very open-minded. They're seeing that in me. Like my 6-year-old daughter now, like she's trying on scarves sometimes and she's like coming to me, do you know what I mean? And like saying, Mom, look at me, you know? And I'm just like, wow, that looks beautiful. But at the same time, I'm not saying to her, you have to wear the scarf, or people that don't wear the scarf go to hell. Like
Yeah.
I've literally heard that so many times, which is absolutely, that's not the case at all. It's got nothing to do actually with your hijab. It's got to do with Allah's rahmah. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
We're all
That's
going
true.
to Jannah
Yeah.
because of Allah's rahmah,
Not
because of what we're wearing. Do you know what I mean? Literally, wallahi, it's not. It's for your own protection, but at the same time, you do have a choice in Islam.
Yeah.
And I feel like in our community, they don't basically tell us that as children, so we think everything is by force. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it seems like a cult almost, but it's not.
100%, yeah.
It's not a cult. It's a religion. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a.
And I think as long as you're doing it for Allah, and as long as you tell them that you're doing it for Allah,
Yeah.
you know, you shouldn't do it because of your parents, you know, or because of your brother.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen people that, you know, as soon as they leave the house, they take it off, and then,
Yeah.
you know, you shouldn't do it for people. But
It's
as long
just so
as you-
sad. Yeah. Literally, it's so sad. Wallahi.
So like you said, you know, you're teaching your daughter to wear it, and but you're not forcing her.
Yeah.
And that's the way it should be.
I'm not even speaking. It's through my behavior. Do
Exactly.
you know what I mean? It's through me being it. It's all about being. Do you know what I mean? If you're being a role model, regardless, and you're not coming from a hateful space. Like I feel like a lot of parents, they bring their children up with Islam, but coming from a hate point of view because they're trying to instill fear in them so that they don't deviate and go to another. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so that they don't do something else. So they're like, Naya, like, you better wear your scarf. Otherwise, so-and-so, Habib Zainab, she's going to say, oh, she's going to talk about you because you're not wearing your hijab. Or whatever. They're just saying some next nonsense.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That will make the person feel pressured, and that will make them feel as if they are forced to do it, whereas
Exactly.
they're not forced to do anything.
But do
you know what I mean?
Everybody,
Yeah.
everybody has their own
Yeah.
opinion, you get me?
Yeah.
But forcing girls upon hijab, it's not a Somali culture.
Yeah.
It comes from outside Somali
Wow.
culture. It comes
Yeah.
from Arabian parts. Because that's what the
Yeah.
Arab people do to their women. They oppress their women and they put them on a
Wow.
hijab.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we have some ulama who were trained, ulama like scholars, who were trained by these so-called Arabian people. And they come up with this ideology. They come to Somalia and they preach this. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I think it's a bad thing forcing people upon
Absolutely.
something they don't
Absolutely.
want to wear. For
Absolutely.
example, if someone wants to be, for example, let's say, Gawara hijab hirata, yeah? She's wearing a hijab, yeah? But she's not doing it for the sake of Allah. She's doing it for the sake of
Absolutely,
fear
yeah.
of other people. Now, what's your opinion about that?
No, that's 100% true.
Yeah?
A lot of people tend to, not a lot of people, majority of them tend to wear hijab because of the sake of it's an Arab something. So then
Yeah.
they wear hijab, and then they forget the main reason why you actually have to wear hijab.
Yeah.
That's the main.
Absolutely, yeah. And then, wallahi, again, that basically puts bitterness into the person, resentment into the person. Therefore, that person, when they look at, let's say, another girl that's so-called free to do whatever she wants, and maybe she's not wearing the scarf, and this girl is looking at the other girl, she'll be having that judgmental mindset because she's been kind of brainwashed or like conditioned to do something in which she doesn't want to do anymore. So she looks at another girl, and that brings hate in the community, more hate and more hate,
100%.
more hate. Do you know what I mean? Like, wallahi, is very, like, it's something that needs to be, wallahi, tackled, honestly. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but
when
at
it
the
comes
same
to
time, look,
parenting.
you know,
I'm not Somali myself.
yeah. Okay.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, mashallah. Yeah.
But the camera, like basically the microphone.
Yeah. Anyway, from my understanding, it's more about educating yourself.
Yeah.
And from what I know and understand, it's about modesty in the Quran.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually, the hijab name itself isn't mentioned as far as I'm aware, from my understanding.
Yeah.
And where it originates from is before even, I'm not going to say Muslim, because Muslim is all people. It's not like created all people.
Yeah.
But from what I understand is Islam, when it came about, peace be upon him, from Muhammad's time, he visited the people, the Byzantine people.
Wow.
And if I'm incorrect, I apologise. But the very rich elite women wore the letterbox out, the letterbox, or what do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, the niqab.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
And the more poor women didn't. And that's where that came from what I understand. And they were permitted because whatever complemented the faith could still be kept. It was their tradition from their time.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually something that was, because if you look through that period of time, each place that peace be upon him, the Prophet visited, everybody wore different things. He wore like a long sleeve white shirt, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Okay? And the thing is, it's about your modesty and your Iman. Your Iman in yourself and your intention, your pure intention, and your prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your belief.
Yeah.
That's what. That's the core. That's your foundation.
Yeah.
And if you're dressed in a certain way, but you're just sweeping all the road, and then you go to pray,
But you know what? It's like at the same time, you also need to take into account that a lot of sisters that are also wearing the niqab, let's say, or wearing a very big veil, you know, at the same time, we also need to take into account that they're also struggling and they're also going through difficult times when it comes to people also stereotyping them and putting them down for what they're wearing.
That's why I'm saying education.
So,
it's about education, about knowing history.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, about knowing history, not just your history,
Yeah.
but the history.
Yeah.
And in the Quran it states that anything that complements the faith is okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes we're practicing certain things in tradition and culture that don't complement the faith,
Yeah.
and we're confusing it. Yeah?
Yeah.
So if you wear that, that's fine. It complements the faith.
Yes.
But if you wear something else that is modest,
Yeah.
you say everything has a different time and a different place.
Yeah.
If you was going skiing, you couldn't really wear one of those outfits,
yeah,
could you?
yeah.
So, you know, if you was doing martial arts, you know, it's just not suitable, is it?
Yeah, but-
And there's certain things, no, I'm not saying, in prayer, obviously, if you're attending look, sometimes we're walking on the streets and your clothes are long and they're sweeping and making it dirty. And then you go home and you're praying with this, or you go to the masjid and you mosque, jami, whichever language you want to use, and then that is not actually clean. So it's about the cleanliness, it's about the covering, and it's about also when you're saying for the men.
Thank you, though. That's very informative. Thank you so much.
Men as
Thank you
well,
very
it's
much.
like
Yeah,
straight.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
They
Yeah.
need to be covered as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes the men ain't covered.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
They need to.
Well, like speaking about that as well, yeah, there's a high amount of pressure being put on sisters and less pressure being put on brothers.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I don't know what you guys think about that. What do you not think about that?
First of
In
all,
terms of
Like
modesty.
in terms of modesty, in terms of also expectations. As in the girl, she should be expected to take care of the house. She should be expected to cook the food, maybe, like she has a lot of responsibilities at home. But she's also expected to get married at the right time, to also go to uni, to graduate with high grades. Whereas, you know, like with the son is like the mum's like, we'll KD, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that in all cases. I'm just saying, you know,
Most of it.
yeah, from my experience and from what I've seen. I don't know.
100%.
Yeah.
but wallahi bimma, like most of the time, Somali people are less harsh on boys,
Yeah.
and they're more harsh on the girls. Like they put a lot of burden on girls, you get me? And then wilisho hawa is a boy.
Yeah.
Mabante wilwaye, mahalawayo,
I see Urmayela, I see baby Makena. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, also, look,
Yeah.
they're thinking about their own kids, you get me? I don't tell that
Yeah.
Like, there's one point that we need to understand. It's
Yeah.
like, Somalia, yeah?
yeah.
They had women leaders
Yeah.
for centuries.
Wow.
And we cannot compare,
That is amazing.
wallahi, we cannot compare to Arab women or any other nation women. Because these other nations, the majority of their leaders were men. Whereby Somalia had Arawelo, they had Queen Halab, the Queen of Buenet of Butland.
Wow.
She was the cousin of Hatshepsut of Egypt, and so much
Wow.
more. And more descendants. Just you know how kings inherit. Other kings, like for example,
Yeah.
son of a king like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
These people had queens inheriting other queens, and we just had this lineage of women leading Somalia.
That's amazing. That's
So we
amazing.
cannot compare,
Yeah.
like historically, we cannot compare our culture to other people. And the reason why a lot of Somali girls feel a bit, the reason why a lot of Somali girls feel more like forced, or they feel a bit stressed about, being forced upon a culture that's not even
Restricted
there.
as well. Like you make
Exactly.
a box,
It's a box.
and you put someone in the box. You tell them they're not allowed to go around
Exactly.
the box. They're not allowed to even look what's outside the
For
box.
example, look,
That
Somalia right
makes
now,
you feel-
Somalia has
you know
been,
what I mean?
sorry to disrupt, yeah, but Somalia has been in, chaos for many years,
Yeah.
since the tribal
Yeah.
war broke out. But who was keeping Somalia into place?
Wow.
Men were destroying it, but women were keeping it in place.
Wow.
Wallahi. So it was the women, the
So-
Somali women are more stronger
Yeah.
compared to men. You understand? Because at the end of the day, look, and so if we say that gabdhaha guriga lagu xiro, hijab indaha inta laga soo baneeyo sidii ninjarka camal, you know, it won't work because that's not
won't work at
that's
all.
not their instinct. That's not who they are.
Yeah.
Brother, yeah, just going back to the hijab thing, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's just establish first that it's the correct thing to do, right?
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
girl to wear, like from a religion point of view, from a moral point of view, like modesty wise, and from cultural point of view.
How?
But so after we establish that a girl should wear it, comes the point that we shouldn't force her to wear it.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't, we shouldn't think less of her. Yeah. So I think that's where the problem is. So
Yeah.
what you were saying before, 100% agree with you. If
Yeah.
someone doesn't wear it, yeah, we shouldn't just say, that's deen like we automatically think deen take
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
sinning, she this and that. Yeah, I mean, I've seen like a lot of girls, like not Somalis necessarily, but hijab, doing like drinking, doing a lot of things, and I've seen like girls that are not wearing hijab,
Yeah.
mashallah, that are praying, you know what I mean?
And that again shows that everyone's battling within their self.
Exactly.
Everyone's still struggling regardless. Your exterior appearance has nothing
Nothing.
to do with how you are doing in your life. Anything, like your spirituality has got nothing to do with that. And I feel like we emphasize on the exterior. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, person will look at you on the outside and they'll be like, oh my gosh, she's a nun. No, like, no. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I could be having like packs of weed under me or lying. I'm trying to like,
I know.
you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to go somewhere else to exploit or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's got nothing to do with it. Wallahi, it's got nothing to do with it. So yeah.
And the reason why I said what I said earlier is because I'm not saying hijab is a bad thing. I fully support girls wearing hijab, but
Yeah.
I also fully support people having their own freedom.
Absolutely,
Because if someone
you're
is not
right,
doing it for the
wallahi,
sake of
yeah,
Allah, there's
yeah.
no point of forcing upon them, right? But the main point why I have said what I have said is because some people are trying to treat the Somali women like other cultures treat their women, keeping them in the house. Right, make them constricted into one place, put them in a box, and that is not the Somali woman instinct. That's not what they do.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
Somali women are good leaders. I'm not gonna lie to you,
And
and they're
especially-
able to, for example, go on.
especially this day and age, right? With
Yeah.
this Islamophobia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I see, you know what I mean? We've got the EDL here right next to us today. When you see what they're going through,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and for them to wear it, you know, like I work with a Pakistani woman, mashallah, right?
Yeah.
When it was baking hot back in the summer, someone came to her and said, "Oh, you're not hot under that." Right? She waited until a few weeks ago and it was like freezing. And she went, "Oh, you're not cold." Literally,
Oh my bless her, wallahi.
So you know, like,
she kept that in her mind, boy. She was like, please, how many more months? December yet? Wallahi.
so like, Somali.
Yeah.
Yo, where's my water, man?
Somali sisters are going
Where's
through a
my
lot.
water?
Without us like judging.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm leaving that box thing because I went through so much right now that I'm in that mindset
Keep
where I'm
it
like,
down, keep it down.
F it, I'm doing whatever
Keep it
I
down,
want
keep it
now.
down.
Do you know what I'm saying? But obviously not obviously I've got my morals, alhamdulillah, I've got my beliefs. I'm very well established in who I am. Do you know what I'm saying? But I do also believe that many people are going through that identity crisis and this doesn't help.
Nah.
Pressurizing and all of this and like putting people in boxes and
And fantastic
You know.
you said about identity crisis.
everyone goes through identity crisis
bit
because
like,
it's
soon
in
as
the
we-
teen years going on to the 20s. I'm literally leaving identity crisis. Wallahi, like I'm not even joking.
Not even that, but you know, like now we're here, and
Yeah.
we're
Let's
not
talk about identity crisis.
and we're not fully accepted here, right?
Yeah.
And then as soon as we go back to Somalia,
Absolutely.
We're
Wallahi.
like-
How
we're
long
like,
is
you know what I
this
mean?
video gonna take? How long?
know.
Because someone's gonna wallahi like
identity
literally.
crisis. Yeah? So it's
Wallahi, we can talk about that for our next topic, identity crisis, because I feel like so many of us
Oh,
Somalis
we can
that are
talk about
born
it
in the
now,
Western
like,
world.
right now. Then we can.
How long
do-
video?
It doesn't matter, like, you could, as long as, whenever they say it's like we should stop, then that's when we stop.
Are you here? I can't be loud here. I think I'm throwing a headlight here. I seem like someone.
So we started, oh, قفت below. Someone said identity
Alright, I'll
crisis.
start then,
Yeah,
right?
go
So
on.
basically,
yeah.
when I'm here, I mean, my Somali's not that great,
Yeah.
right? So I feel like, I'm proud to be Somali,
Yeah.
I'm proud to be, what I mean? I don't consider myself English or British, whatever you call it. I'm Somali when I'm here. So markan to go back home, I expect to be braced,
Yeah,
That's like Somali.
embraced, like
Embraced,
yes,
yeah.
my wheel can it was all out there.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen like that.
It just happened like that. So I
Right,
go there, I'm
right.
full excited. You know what I mean? After the first few first week, I just can't wait to get back
They're like,
here.
"Waxaan dhaqan celis kam maxaa waaye?" And you know what? As soon as you start talking, yeah, please, as soon as you start talking, yeah, you're like, "Habayar, ma fiican tahay." And then they're like, "Oof, war waxaan fiiri suu u hadlaayo."
And then like, I can't wait to get back. And then when I get back, as
and then
soon
when
as
you
I
get
land,
back,
I want to
you
go
wanna
back
go
again.
Somalia again. Oh my gosh.
Why?
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
just like,
We can
I mean,
relate.
like-
Wallahi, we
I
can
can
relate. I
relate.
remember the first time I went to Bosaso. Literally, okay, first of all, it was crazy hot, yeah. That is.
Oh, you lot are in
100%,
Bosaso, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Big
I need.
Okay.
No. I'm
Big
here,
up
Sheikh
the-
Halwa. Suk halwa.
Okay, anyway.
Suk halwa.
No, قبيل معها.
I'm joking.
لا
I'm
أنا
joking.
أتخيل ريبوسات وقت جاي
ها.
لكن
أريد البطلة ما تاي.
مايا I support بطلة because ما شو كسو أخلي يستي.
Okay.
Different.
Basically, my mom's side is Mahala Daha Rer Butlan. Do you know what I mean? So
Okay.
that's why I went there.
Okay.
But my dad's Shekhal.
Okay.
So basically, when I first went to Bosaso, they were speaking in the dialect of the Rer Bariga, you know, so I could not understand one thing that they were saying.
Okay.
And well, I'm not gonna lie, I felt really alienated at first. Do you know what I mean? Because people make you feel like you're an outsider. At the same time, you can tell that there's an inferiority complex in them because they feel like, okay, this person has a silver spoon in their mouth because they've been told some crap about how Europe is rich and there's money. Someone actually asked me one time, wallahi, is there money coming down from the trees? And I was like, I didn't even answer that question. Wallahi, I was like, I'm not even gonna answer that question. But literally, wallahi, when I went there, yeah, they think you're better than them, but at the same time, they treat you like you're less than them. So it's
Yeah.
kind of confusing.
And the same as here. Like, yeah, you don't fully feel you're British.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You
The thing
never-
is this, yeah,
I
look.
would not classify myself as British. I was born in
Never.
Sweden, mate. And wallahi, some people are like, so you're Swedish then? I'm like, Swedish? I'm like, no.
No,
Do I
you're
look white? I'm black. It's melanin. Wallahi, like, are
Okay.
you kidding me? Like, seriously? No.
But the thing is this.
Yeah.
The thing with what's it called? Identity loss, or like trying to figure out your identity.
Yeah.
One of them is, for example, we are Somali, right? And when we come to a country,
Yeah.
we don't just come just like that. We come with culture. We come with everything. We bring home here.
Yeah.
Mavante. And then the young people who are growing in that country,
Yeah.
they try to adjust with their culture, at the same time adjust with the culture
Subhanallah,
of
that's
the country
deep.
itself.
That is deep.
Mavante.
That's mad, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
some point, this kid is gonna get a bit confused in
Yeah.
between. Mavante. Like, which side should I choose?
Do you feel
Exactly.
like this
Because
kind
I
of, do you feel like this identity crisis kind of leads people into the streets as well and to try to find somewhere to belong?
Exactly.
To get into gangs?
Yeah.
Do you feel like sometimes
wanna
that
go-
is that might be a reason
Yeah.
to drink,
Yeah.
to want to fit
Blend
in
in.
as well? Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you're Muslim, you're restricted to do, not restricted, but you're not supposed to do so. I don't like that word restricted because that makes me feel like
Yeah.
in jail. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
But basically, it's like, okay, you're not allowed to drink, but at the same time, you're here. British people drink. You see your Somali friend over here, Abdullahi, he's drinking, and you're like, Abdullahi's drinking.
Okay.
So why not?
I don't like drinking, but
Well,
I'm just gonna drink.
Because
Do
Abdullahi
you know what I
did it.
mean? Like,
Exactly.
100%.
it's
So,
crazy.
yeah, that's good. So
Yeah.
basically, that's one of the reasons. So when someone is lost in between, they want to find a place to belong.
Yeah.
And their friends kind of feel, I think they kind of bully them or
They
something.
influence.
They
Yeah.
just look, they just
Peer
be like,
pressure,
what are
peer
you, man?
pressure, trust
like,
me.
Mahatahay.
Trust
You know,
me.
Somali,
Yeah.
like, why are you weird? Why are you different? Why not fitting in?
Yeah.
So from a young age, this kid, he gets programmed by society at the same time by home. But he can't.
and they're completely different
Exactly.
things. Like they're colliding like this.
So
literally.
basically, you know,
home life and outside life.
Exactly.
Like this.
So humankind, we have what we call persona.
Yeah.
That we can change our personality or our facial mask according to where we are.
Wow.
So at home, he's
Wow.
a Somali. Or she's a
Wow.
Somali. She
Wow.
got the dira', she got hijab, everything is sorted. Banana Kamakala she has to fit in with other people. Now she's a different person. Right, she's slanging, she's
yeah.
doing this, or he's slanging,
Yeah.
he's doing that, he's drinking, he's partying, whatever it is. And that's how sometimes, some youth, the Somali youth, get involved in the gang crimes or stuff because at the end of the day they just want to make friends.
And also there's probably a lot of anger in them as well and a lot of energy in them that they take out. So it's like that's how the violence happens and all of this. Like they'll get into the gangs, do you know what I'm saying? They'll feel like they belong and then they feel like they have to do certain extra things to make themselves something, like they're worth something.
Yeah.
Because imagine you don't know much about your culture, you're born here, maybe your dad's not there. Do you know what I mean? Your mum's struggling, maybe going through depression. All of a sudden, what are you gonna do, Maka? You're just like,
100%,
okay,
100%.
I don't fit in anywhere.
Just give your
You
opinion.
go to school, and then you meet these couple of guys, and
about,
they're like, rah,
identity
you know,
crisis.
this is the brotherhood. Like, join us, me find it.
It's not even
And then-
that, but
Controversial.
they look
Yeah.
for like a form of protection from
Yeah.
other people.
Right now, identity
So when they're
crisis.
joining
What's the
gangs,
cause
they don't
of
have
Somali
that
people
family
losing
protection.
their culture?
So they're
Yeah,
like, oh,
it's
if
true.
I
Yeah.
join
For
this
example,
gang,
when you go
maybe
back home,
then
people
they're
look
gonna
at
help
you like,
me.
oh,
They're gonna save me. This
when
and
you
that.
come here, you're not
And
fully
these
there.
guys that basically are the high gang
Yeah.
members, like they're older people, and they drag in the younger people because they feel like they're gonna do the
Let's
work
go,
for me,
let's go.
and they're like, oh, you're gonna basically do this and that, and if you ever need something, you can come to me. But then they can't come to them if they ever need something because they feel like raw, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What
Just
happened?
using.
Yeah, they're just basically.
Well, like, there are
using
many
younger
different
kids,
factors, but
you know what I mean?
literally, I'm not gonna lie, it all comes down to the identity crisis thing that we were talking
And
about.
also, we're not
literally.
accepted
Wallahi.
by the middles. Huh?
What caused the identity crisis is lack of knowledge of your cultural background and your historical background. And do you don't feel like that?
No, it's not.
Okay. Listen. Don't make it into a fact. It's an opinion, yeah. But no, it's not. Let me tell you. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's true.
Wallahi, I love that
That is
point.
true.
I love that point.
Me, I was involved in team now.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Go
I beg
close.
you come into the camera. I beg you come. Wallahi, like we're all in the video. Like, yeah, go on. Anyway.
Anyways, let's go.
Yeah.
It's about. Listen, alright, cool. So I was born in Saudi, innit?
Yeah.
I come here. I've always had a good relationship with the parents.
Yeah.
Kids that don't have good relationship with the parents, majority of the time turn out to be the bad mans.
For real.
Really and truly, innit?
For
So it's a
real.
thing where
Yeah.
everyone's got their culture.
Wow.
You follow Islam, you follow Islam, I follow Islam.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what Islam is. Everyone knows right and wrong.
Yeah.
But it's a thing where one guy will go out of his yard, come back late, not tell his marjay what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's how the shirk starts.
how it starts.
When the shirk starts, they go into gangs. When the gang be like, shirk, you get me?
Yeah.
It all expands.
Yeah.
It all expands from
And
there.
because the communication was broken, they have no one else to
That's
go
what I'm
back
saying.
to and
That's
to
what I'm
tell.
saying. So who they gonna talk to? The boys? Say.
They're boys.
Who you gonna
That's
talk to? The
yeah.
boys. What I'm saying is-
Absolutely. Wallahi, that's a sick point.
That's basically what
That's
it is.
a
Really.
good point.
If they got a
Yeah.
good communication with their marjay and their pops, even if their pops is not about, cause I know there's a lot of people out there that haven't got their parents around.
Yeah.
They could then tell whatever, innit?
Yeah.
Well,
But do you
I
feel
don't
like that's the
understand it.
child's responsibility to improve the relationship, or do you feel like that's the parents' responsibility?
It's a two-way street. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
The kid's got to be close enough to be talking to his parents. It's got to be comfortable, and the parents got their responsibility.
But how
as
does
a-
the kids
as a-
become comfortable?
Exactly, yeah.
How do kids
With
become
the strict
comfortable?
parents.
From
Yeah,
the
I think
parents,
the parents-
exactly. It's very hard.
It's true.
And it's all
kids
all
that have strict parents
yeah.
are the kids that turn out to hide a lot of things from their
Exactly.
parents.
Ah, wallahi.
Really and truly.
And they get-
You know what I'm
exactly,
saying?
yeah.
So if everyone's
Wallahi.
honest, which comes from Islam, if everyone's honest
And
cool about
open-minded, yeah.
open-minded about what they gotta do, nothing will be going on right now. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. You know Amsterdam? Have you ever been to Amsterdam?
Yeah.
You know why the crime rate is so low down there?
No.
It's because things are legalized over there. That's all it is.
Wow.
Well, like, that's the real truth. If things were legalized here, yeah, I'm not gonna say on camera what kind of things I'm talking about, but if things are legalized, yeah, well, like, things would be cool here.
Nah, I'm
Because
sorry, I
you know
disagree
why?
with that.
You know why?
I gotta disagree with that, man.
let me
When you were
explain.
talking about the family dynamic
Yeah.
situation, I thought that was absolutely on point.
No,
But
the
when
fam-
it comes to
the family,
the human mind,
that's
yeah,
one thing, innit?
wallahi, when it comes to stuff like
Yeah.
drugs being legalized, yeah, wallahi, people are gonna be eating each other, man. Flipping out. Wallahi, there's gonna be some next zombie apocalypse special. I'm
You know
joking,
why?
no.
You know
But
why? I'll tell you why.
I
Reason
don't-
being,
yeah.
if drugs get legalized here, you're gonna have normal off licenses selling drugs off. Yes or no? That basically takes these kids out of the streets because they're out of business, which means they've got nothing else to do apart from work, just to make their money.
that's a very good way
Yeah.
to see it. Yeah,
Just to make
yeah.
their money, they've
Yeah.
got to do other things.
Yeah.
They could go a degree above and try to do them, the madness. But man, there's a minority, a small percentage of guys that will do that. Apart from that, no one else will do that. Everyone else is just gonna go back on their hustle, straight up. You know what I'm saying? I've been there. I've done all that. That's why I'm doing all this bullshit right now. I'll keep it real, like. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be out here doing that much just to get a little change.
Yeah.
For Marjay to be like, where you getting your money from?
Yeah,
It all starts from the family. That's the way I see it, like.
for real.
But guys, take care of yourselves. Anyway,
Yeah,
man.
you too.
That
Thank
was
you,
very
man.
important,
Thank
man.
you,
We
thank
really
you.
appreciate
Wallahi. Wallahi, this is going good, you know.
Yeah, it
this is
is.
going real good. But anyways, listen, is your point, yeah, to base, are you gonna edit that video ga?
Maya. Maya.
So how do you handle your how you do this?
What could you say?
Okay,
Everything
aywa,
is- Yeah.
What's the channel called?
COE.
Yeah.
Somali corner. Do you know what the thing is, yeah?
Filterize
Listen, let me tell you something, yeah? Inshallah, we're going to bring in more topics and it's going to be like really laser focused. So we're going to talk about things like,
I can't lie, what you
such
guys
as,
are talking about is making sense.
it's making real sense.
What's going over there?
Yeah.
Bro,
I tell you, let me tell you, let me
Let
give
me
you.
now, because how do I handle it now? People are listening to our
عادي واحد.
conversation.
This is a good
What
conversation.
handle to when we put it on?
سانك وبلا.
Oh, you're going to have to cut
filterize
this.
me in it.
Tell her who's there.
Well, we're not going to filter you, mate. You had some good things to say.
You know how this started?
Wallahi.
Somali corner, we call it Somali corner.
Somali corner.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Exactly. So the way it started is like, you know, here, different people come here, different cultures, different backgrounds, yeah? No one talks about Somali issues. No one talks about Somali problems. Everybody talking about every other issue apart from Somali issues. So it's like, you know what? It's time for Somali people to talk about their own.
Yeah, and you know what the funny thing is, yeah, people are so focused on other people.
Yeah.
Like literally everyone, this person's looking at that person's ass, that person's looking at that person's ass. What the hell? Take care of your own self.
Every man for
I
themselves.
feel like we should be helping our own community and talking about issues that are like, it's not like we're not exposing, we are exposing ourselves, but in a good way. Me find we're helping each other out. We're talking about issues that need to be talked about.
Exactly.
In our surfer, like it's the truth.
Say this.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Surah Abasa.
Yeah?
Surah Abasa. In just Amma.
Yeah. Surah Abasa.
If you read the translation to that, MB, come on. The translation to that, yeah, that's basically saying every man for themselves. As soon as their judgment comes,
Subhanallah,
if everyone- as soon as their
subhanallah.
judgment
That
comes,
is,
you know,
that
you
is
and your
mad.
mother, your mother didn't want to.
Your mum will want to run away from you.
وأمه وأبيه صاحبته وبنيه.
Subhanallah.
لكل امرئ منهم يومئذ شأن يغنيه. That's deep as well.
So yeah, so is there a point of people focusing on other people?
No.
And then you're not looking at yourself. A'udhu billah, like subhanallah, it's scary, wallahi. It's scary. I get scared that I do that sometimes.
You know,
like literally.
I shouldn't be
wallahi.
quoting him, but you know Winston Churchill.
Bro, I support.
Finish, someone like that.
Please, what did you say? So,
It was like, I'm just saying, your auntie's gonna be the fee.
All I'm screaming
wait,
is-
who
all
told you
screaming
this?
at the end
I'm
of the
sorry.
day,
Sorry.
Yeah. What do you say about Strip's family?
No, oh my god. Did you hear what he said?
There's a difference. There's a
You
difference.
said,
Yeah.
Astaghfirullah.
I think what you said.
Dad, calm down. Yo, Wiggins. I know.
Nah, but like,
Come on.
don't talk about the deen though.
Yeah, exactly. Quran wa sahab. Okay, what do you think about?
I know. Yeah.
I've asked the brother a
Okay,
question.
I'm
okay.
screaming, yeah?
Yeah.
There's a difference between a strict family and you get me over strict. Like,
Yeah.
There's people that there's Marjays out there that are screaming, yo, gonna get them out 5 p.m. All good and well, that's Adi. But it's a thing where you come out of school, you see it, and then the kids start to panic. They're like, man, my
How'd you know,
man?
man?
What's going on? Get me. Corruption starts. Get me. That's how it all starts. I'm telling you. So if
Exactly.
You're cool,
So what would you say about that? What do you
all I'm
think?
screaming is, yeah, families just got to be comfortable with each other, and yeah, they can talk to each other. Like,
Exactly.
it's like a thing. Even me, like, I just want to go and speak to my Marjay, be like, listen, this is the problem man's going through. What are you gonna do about it, kind of? Get it? But
Yeah.
there's stages to that, innit?
We're absanayan as well. Parents markay meeshan imaadeen ay arkeen like gabdho mini skirts xiran iyo waxyaabaas banaanka iyo markay arkeen different religions iyo gay iyo markay arkeen they were like subhanallah a'udhu billahi min
That's it.
shaitanir rajim, la quwwata illa billah. Literally they were like, oh my god, ilmahey, how the hell do I keep
And
them?
you know, one
like
last
how?
thing before I go, 'cause I've got to go back to position, yeah?
Yeah.
But Somali people, one thing we need to change up on, yeah, is the judgmental side of shit.
Wow.
Absolutely,
Somali
absolutely.
people
Wallahi,
are the most
words,
judgmental people
words.
about.
Yeah.
We always get onto these Arab people about Abid, that's their problem. Listen, that's their problem, bro. But that's their problem. But that's their problem. We got to solve our problem, bro.
Yeah, he's right.
Every country's on their own,
Wallahi,
like,
absolutely. It all comes back down to everybody being mindful of what they're doing, their actions, how their actions are affecting the potential generation, potential society, like the society, how it's like, do you know what I'm saying? It's all to do with you.
It's true.
Because the only thing you can control is your body and what you're doing. Do you know what I mean?
Like,
Like,
you know how
literally.
we going still, but one last thing as well, yeah?
Yeah.
There's Somali
Interesting
people
topic.
that come to this country,
Yeah.
compared to other like minorities that come to this country,
Yeah.
we're the worst. You know why? Somali people don't help each other out.
Waka.
You know who the best people are? You know Polish people. Bro, Polish people
I
are
beg you.
established here.
You're right.
They're established.
Listen.
How many Polski scripts do
No,
you see
I'm
about
gonna have to.
I was gonna say no.
You know, on the
8
road,
years
like-
ago, 8 years ago, I saw one Polski club, and I was like, Polski
Really?
club,
Timicilla-
and
even
then now
Timicilla-
they're
even
everywhere.
South Africa, I can't say Timicilla.
Everywhere.
Asian
They're
people,
doing
yeah?
business now.
You know Asian people, they're 30 as well. But it's Awana, they make businesses. You're Asian, I'm Asian, I'm helping you out.
Shan
Somali
Buriala
people-
Gadana, listen.
Somali people,
They're
Somali
focusing
people-
on themselves.
You know what
Selfish.
Ghana-
They're very
Somali
selfish.
people, you know, Somali people in the UK,
you know what
I
Ghana
agree
is?
with you.
You know what Ghana
But
is?
Somali people outside the UK, for example, Minnesota is a little Mogadishu there, bro.
Bro, there's a
There-
lot of this straight back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
But-
but basically what he's trying to say
Like,
is, listen, I understand what you mean, but what he's trying to say is we can't generalize the whole Somali community because there are certain parts of the community that are doing extremely well and that are helping each other. Do you know what I mean? Wallahi,
it's a
this
thing where Somali
yeah.
people are trying to get one over each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see it? Like, say you come, example, I've got a rental company, yeah? You want to come, you're going to come to me with a kawaris. You're going to come to me saying, I want it for this price.
Yeah.
Knowing that I'm not going to give it to you for that price. Share Kalabilawa. So when I give it to you for that price, you're going to think, yeah, I finessed it.
I got it for cheap. But you're not thinking of supporting your brother's business, or you're not thinking of supporting your brother's business. Exactly. Yeah. Well, like, yeah.
Before you go,
you're
let me
right,
add
man.
something to
You're
what you
right.
said.
Well, like,
yeah?
thank you
Let me
so
say-
much, man.
Really, of Somali, when a Somali comes to you and they try to what's the word I'm looking for?
They tried to what?
Manipulate
you?
Not manipulate.
Persuade you?
Not persuade. Like when you're trying to get something for a lesser price, what's the word for it?
Work barana.
I don't know.
Okay, Firi. For example, they're not trying to, you know, like vanish or something. Have you heard of Skuhalen?
Yeah.
Skuhalen, like, because Somalia tahay, they'd be like, okay, he's a Somali guy, at least he's gonna
But how are we ever going to rise up above the ground if everybody's like this to each other? Like, let's be honest, because that's all like what they're doing. Yeah, well, it's school, like, relax, like.
It's not even the Somali people that are here,
Yeah.
or Minnesota, or Toronto. It's Somali people in Somalia
Yeah.
that do this.
No, and another thing, I just moved from Sweden 2 years ago, bro. I used to live, not Rinkeby, by the way. I used to live in a small place called Eskilstuna. I'm telling you, let me tell you one thing, yeah. That community over there has to it's quite high end. Do you understand what I mean? No, but it was worse than anything I've ever seen. If there's actually, if a lot of people watch this, people from Eskilstuna are gonna hate me. But wallahi, I'm not gonna lie, yeah. It was crazy out there. Do you know what I mean? Like that place was dog eat dog world. I could lie, my friend.
But it is the dog eat dog world.
Yes,
That's the problem. It is the
that's
dog
what I'm
eat
saying.
dog world.
But at the
But
end
we
of
gotta compromise. That's
but
what
West
I'm saying,
Alwinkana,
like,
West
compromise,
Alwinkana. If we focus on our own community and if we focus on ourselves, because there's a lot we can improve. There's a lot we can improve.
100%.
Yeah. No lie.
Yeah, so what's your opinion, bro? You've been listening.
Bro, let me
About-
ask one thing. Let me
Go
ask you
on,
something.
go on,
Yeah. Hello to video guy look at air graces. If it's too long, just remember what Sanayan. So just
don't edit it.
edit graces yeah.
Look, people,
if it's
whether
too
it's long or
long-
not, this is COE, whether it's long or not, people watch it.
No, you're just.
Yes.
Let's go down. Whether it's long or not, they still watch
What's
it.
in there?
I need to go somewhere
Take care of
else
yourself,
about this. I need to go somewhere else.
Yeah, alright.
Because this is amazing discussions, but me trying to like,
I understand what you mean, but COE, yeah, sometimes it's 2 hours long, but it gets 5k views, even though it's 2 hours long. So it's COE, everybody watches it. Yeah, so you want to talk to me earlier?
He's not wrong.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, you what you saying there?
No, you said you wanted to ask me something earlier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No problem. Yeah, because what it is, obviously you speak a lot about Somali history and them kind of things there. I'm a student of African history. So I'm always looking to learn more about different things.
Yeah.
And there are a few things that you said that interested me. Yeah?
Right, okay.
So I wanted to really ask to learn some and get points where I can research some more.
Yeah.
And not to say that I agree with everything that you said, but obviously you're more learning on Somali history than I am. Yeah. So I humble myself to that. But there was one thing that you said that interested me, which was that you said something about DNA and something to do with at least 25 or 30% DNA in Somalis today is Arabic or something like that. Am I correct?
Yeah.
All right. And so obviously that would have been something that would have come in at a certain period of
Time.
history. Yeah. So and which would have been synonymous, from my understanding, with how Islam becomes a force among Somali people. Am I correct?
No.
Okay. Clarify it for me then.
So when you say Islam being a force upon Somali people, what do you mean specifically?
So I'm seeing I'm relating the levels of Arabic DNA to the
Okay, all right, I get your point.
Yeah.
Point. Okay, first of all, Somali people
Yes.
have been into marrying
Right.
outside races before Islam.
Right.
Because Somalia at some point was a great empire in
Yes.
different times.
Yes.
For example, let me pick for example the time of Bunt.
Yes.
Right, the Queen of Bunet. Yeah. what she used to do, basically she had influence over Yemen and some parts of Oman, and obviously there's the whole chunk of Somali tribe that are related to Somali tribe that live in Yemen.
Yes.
Right? So when we say that we have certain percentage of Arab in our DNA, it does not come from the father's DNA. The father's DNA
Come from the mother's DNA.
It comes from the mother's DNA.
Yes.
In this sense, because for example, your bloodline, you know how it goes.
Yes.
It doesn't change. Your father's blood doesn't change.
Yes.
So it just comes from your mom.
Yes.
You understand? So basically, at the end of the day, the Arab that we're talking about, I've seen a lot of Somali sisters and brothers who have taken DNA and they've got a Native American in them.
Right.
You understand?
Right,
Native American.
Right.
And it goes back to, and then when you look at the year when this happened,
Right.
through the DNA, it's like years, like centuries ago.
Yeah.
So that makes sense because at the end of the day, so when you say Islam came forced into Somalia,
Yes.
it didn't. When the Sahabas were coming through, or the first migration, they came through Zayla.
Yes.
Zayla is a small city in Somalia right now, and there's a mosque called Qiblatain. It has 2 qiblas. So this mosque is older than a mosque known as Medina.
Yeah.
Basically, because it has 2 qiblas.
Yeah.
And Medina was not built in the first Hijrah. I think it was built after the first Hijrah.
Yeah.
You understand? So this is a clear history. So when these people came to Somalia, Somali people already had a religion. And their religion was, they worshipped a deity known as Ebe.
Right.
Or Waq.
Right.
Waq means Lord of Life and Water.
Right.
And Ebe was the great god, or Wayne. For example, in Ethiopia, they still use that word, Wayne.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Wayne is the great god,
Yes.
basically. So when Islam came to them, also they had Ayanle. Ayanle is an angel who is a mediator between God and mankind. And Somalia was known as the land of the gods simply because they designed statues and gods for other countries. For example, for example, Baal was a Somali design. Baal, Horus. For example, Horuse, that's a Somali name. There's a lot of, for example, Ra. There is Barre.
Yes.
Barre means protector of Ra. So we have different names in Somalia. So in a long story short, Somalia is beyond just like small.
No, I understand that. You've preempted my next question.
Yeah.
Which was going to be, what was the spirituality or the religion of Somali people prior to Islam?
Prior to Islam, they believed in, I would say, animalism.
Right.
And some animalism.
Animalism, can you please
it's
go further into that?
It's like, worshipping nature or respecting nature.
Right.
Like the sun and stuff.
Them kind of things there, right?
Okay.
Because this is where, because I've had experiences with Somali. I've been to Somali weddings and them kind of things there. Just with people I know, and I am a great admirer of the culture, especially because I can see the Islamic as well as the pre-Islamic, if that makes sense. It's not the same as if you go to this another kind of Islamic kind of, you know what I'm saying? You know. So, but
do you mean as in they're more lenient in the sense?
No. I meant that there's more. This might sound controversial. There's more just Africa. Yeah. Right. So when you say you might describe it as animism, that's not surprising to me based upon a lot of the other indigenous cultures of the area, you know what I'm saying? Even like say for example pre-Christian Ethiopia, and you've related it as well to pre-Christian Ethiopia. There was a shared, you know what I'm saying? I've heard you speak before in terms of the relationship between Somalia and ancient Kemet or Egypt as well. And there are many like even people in West Africa relate to or draw their lineage from the Nile Valley. People in Central Africa do the same. Do you understand what I'm saying? So my next question is in relation to this idea of difference. Yeah, I've heard you say as well that Somalis people